Hello, happy Thursday to you guys. Thank you for being with me. This is the Anyone Can Playwrite podcast show, and I'm your host, RK. I just want to thank you guys again for being with me. We are on this beautiful spiritual journey together, right? Of being able to understand how play is a transformational element in our life. We are reading this book together called the Adult Play Therapy Devotional. It is a 60-day soul cleansing devotional and journal. You can make this purchase directly through me. Just DM me. We'll do the money exchange, and I'll send your book to you with a personal message and signature from me. It'll be autographed from me. Oh, wow. But I would love to put a nice message in there for you. Or you can purchase it on Amazon. It's also available on ebook. So without further ado, let's go ahead and read this together. We are on day 9. Oh yeah, day 9, guys. You cannot cut all toxic people in your life. Why? These individuals may not be as easy to cut off because they are your parents, your siblings, your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, your supervisor, your coworker, your employee, etc. In this case, set healthy boundaries that benefit you and your household. Once again, I said that if you don't have the book and you have a notebook, go ahead and do your journaling in that notebook. Of course, it is easier to have this book because everything's already printed. You don't have to go about actually putting in that work of having to write everything word for word. All right. And like I always say, you do not have to DM me and write me and tell me what you wrote. What I write it's just between myself and the Lord. But this is about self-discovery, just really being able to grow and to blossom and to examine yourself and really grow into, or I should say really evolve into who you are to become. And you're going to see and feel so much more freer in your play. So you cannot cut off all toxic people in your life. A lot of time we're saying that you can cut whoever you need to off. But the reality is that just cutting someone off doesn't always mean that your emotions are disconnected from that individual, because your emotions can still be very intertwined with that individual. You can have someone who's older and up in age, and you're constantly concerned on their well-being and if they're okay. And although that person could be a toxic individual, and I'm literally coming from my own experience, it's still important to you to stay connected to them, even if it's just talking to them once a month. Just making sure, like, hey, are you okay? I've had that experience numerous times in my life. And I will say from my own testimony, it benefited me to still be in contact, even if it was the bare minimum, to still just reach out, hear their voice, let them hear me. I was really blessed with an opportunity to reach out to a loved one. Actually, on 3 occasions, 3 occasions in my life that I can think of from the top of my head, of being able to talk to someone prior to their passing. And it's really settled in my heart a comfort where I said, I don't feel any regret, because I still stayed in contact with this person. This person may have been toxic in my life, but I set boundaries to where I didn't, constantly communicate with that person and feel the effects of the toxicity. But I did stay in contact enough to where when they pass, I didn't feel like, oh, I should have called more. Oh, I should have visited more. Oh, I should have did this. I didn't feel any of that. I was like, I still stay in contact with that person. I still communicated with that person. I still knew when to get off the phone. If I was on the phone too long and it was just becoming, I was starting to have an emotional snowball. I knew to say, hey, I gotta go. And for me, I will admit, sometimes my hectic life of being a mom of 10 kids, being a wife, and the responsibilities that come with it. Sometimes it's a blessing. Sometimes it's a blessing to be like, I have to get off the phone because I have to change a diaper, or, food just spilled, or, we're teaching a lesson right now and I need to get back into schoolwork. Those are times when the hectic schedule is beneficial, to be able to fall back on. It's not leaning on, it's not a lie, it's not an excuse, it's literally life. So sometimes the things in life that we begrudge or that feels like a weight can actually be a blessing in disguise, when having to be in communication with someone that may be more toxic for you. These are blessings in disguise that you can be able to utilize as a tool of setting a healthy boundary. And I was able to do that, and it helped me out so much. But like I said, it also allowed me to still be in communication with these individuals prior to their passing. And when they passed and other family members were expressing their regrets as far as, I wish I would have talked to this person more. I should have did this. I should have did that. I didn't feel, and I don't feel that. It is literally well with my soul. I don't feel that pull, like I should have did this, I should have did that. I know that regardless of how that individual was, I did my best. And honestly, I take that back. There's like 4. I said if I think a little bit more, it's going to be more people. I had someone that was even in a nursing home, and I used to go visit her, and she was a distant cousin. I didn't even know her that well. And from the time of my growing up here in this city, she had probably only babysat me like 2 times and didn't really ever reach out to me the whole time I was here. But then when she became, elderly of age, I fully wanted to take care of her. And, my grandmother was like, that wouldn't be a good idea, because that was like her first cousin. She was like, she knew her more and was like, that wouldn't be a good idea. But I constantly visited her when I was on campus, because the nursing home was like right across the street from my undergraduate studies. And when she passed, I visited her. Prior to that, I visited her in my undergraduate years, following college, as a graduate student. When I met my husband, when I was engaged, when I was married, I still visited her. When I became pregnant, I still tried my best to visit, but nursing homes can be a very germy place for a pregnant woman. So I decided, not to go see her. She was also going through dementia at that time. So that made things a little bit harder during our visits, because she was having memory lapse. But I was still trying my best to go to see her. But when she passed, literally, for me, I was like, it was well with my soul. Not well with my soul that she passed, but I didn't feel any regrets. And that's the whole thing. You don't want to be 80 years old, 90 years old, 60 years old even, and saying, I wish I would have reached out more. I wish I would have did this. Could that relationship have been better? Even if the relationship doesn't get any better, it's about you being better. So you make those calls when you feel best. If you don't feel like this is a call day, send a text. We have so many forms of technology. Send an email. Just do something where you can say, I'm doing my part. Because we're all human. All living things at some point are going to perish or either migrate, move on, live in a different house, live in a different city. And at least before that transition takes place, you can say, I did everything I humanly could that would allow me to still stay healthy to communicate with this person. That's what matters the most. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I see you on here once upon a time in Finland. Thank you so much for joining, sis. I'm so glad to see you on here. Nika Miller, thank you for joining. Fairy of the Wind 2001, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. I'm going to send you guys some waves. And she said, that's a great idea. That's all that matters. Yeah, look at your life. What's in your life that can honestly be, even though it's a hassle at times, it can be a burden. Like I said, changing diapers, making food, dealing with homeschooling and breaking up arguments and trying to find something fun and entertaining for my kiddos to do, and trying to find my own little, points of time to get a little me time in and just breathe. These are hard things that are part of my daily life, but There are also tools in my tool shop, in my tool shed, that allows me to set as healthy boundaries. So we're going to go into our journal prompt, and our journal prompt says, list ways that you can create healthy boundaries with these toxic individuals. So previously we had stated about, writing down ideas of what you can utilize as healthy boundaries. What can you have as healthy boundaries for yourself? And I said, Google it, look up different concepts and ideas. Well, now we are getting very specific, and we are targeting certain individuals, and not in a bad way, but just saying, like, this is a toxic person in my life. And you can even think about previous people. Like I said, I could think of 4 very easily. And I think even harder is probably another one that I was able to still, be in communication with. I don't know if I want to say so much as like being involved, but being in communication with, and still having, a very bare minimal relationship with. But by still having that interaction, it allowed me to make sure that they were okay, and vice versa, but not allowing, I just kept my dams up. You know what I mean? Like we were thinking like in the water with the river, and, having that dam there so that the water doesn't cross onto the other side. So who they are can stay contained on their side, and who I am stays contained. And I had to set healthy boundaries so I could stay healthy as a human, a woman, a wife, a mom, and whatever other hats that I was wearing during that time. And now I have to be the one who's mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, psychologically healthy. Once upon a time in Finland, and that's once_upon_a_time_in_Finland. Amazing page. Check her out. Just amazing. I didn't get a chance to say you guys underscore. Please don't take it offensively at all. She said that's really important. Being nice doesn't mean being target or just enduring it. Exactly. Boundaries are really important. It is so very important. It is so very important. And if one of the things, because we talk about play, this is Sacred Pair of Playland channel, okay? Play is extremely important to me. This is adult play therapy. And I told you guys, I was like, we're going to deal with the inside before we even deal with all of our collection or our video games or our hula hoops or whatever it is that you guys get involved with during your playtime. Before we even touch on those things, let's talk about what's going on mentally, spiritually, emotionally, because these things are so important. There are so many times I see, and this is really where the drive and motivation of creating this devotional came from, because I see so many of us on this platform who get burnt out, and we're just like, I'm too tired to play. I have so much going on in my life right now. I'm not able to even begin to focus on play. IRL, in real life, is happening, and I don't have time for me. Or I'm feeling just, I have the time, but I have so much going on inside. I've even read that. I have so much going on inside that it's just hard to figure out what to play with or how to play. So many accounts that I have seen. I've seen accounts that have had to take a whole year break. I've seen accounts that had to take 3 months break, and you just don't hear from them anymore. Or they're like, I'm going to pop in and say hi, but I just don't feel a drive to post right now. Life happens. We're human, and it would be completely outrageous to have this idea that says, we're just going to play to infinity. We're adults, and we have to shoulder a lot of responsibility. And we've had to live this life from infancy to toddlerhood, to childhood, to before teenagehood, to becoming a teenager, to young adult, to adult. And we're still evolving as adults. And it's this backpack that's on us from the time that we're born, and it's invisible. And it just has all this junk in it. And this backpack represents our soul, like everything that we've shouldered and carried, and things people have said, things people have done, things that we've done, things that we've said, the things that we've seen our loved ones have to bear through and go through and still having to live on, continue to face it, confront it, and deal with it and endure through it and suffer through it and still pay our bills and still do this and act like everything is fine and smile. It's not easy. And I don't care what your social economic stance is. We all have some measure of emotional burden that we're dealing with and yet still trying to find our fun, right? So that's why we're dealing with how to have a healthy emotional psyche and still enjoy our play. I don't even know if I should say and still enjoy our play. Enjoy our play. Enjoy our play to the utmost. All right? Because life happens. So previously we did talk about in what ways can we set healthy boundaries. Well, now we're going to look at specific individuals that we consider toxic in our life. It doesn't matter how anyone else views them. For other people, they may be their best friend and helps them through everything. If you were to talk to them, they'd be like, oh my God, no, Brenda's not toxic. And I'm just saying Brenda because I have a doll named Brenda. So please don't, if I ever say a name and it may be your name, because we're all dealing with our Instagram handles, so I don't even know your name. Don't take it offensively at all. Or if you know someone who has that name, I don't know who you know. Don't take it offensively. I literally have a doll. My Gloria has a sister named Brenda. So I said Brenda. Any name I say, please don't take it offensively, okay, guys? But, someone was like, Brenda's great. I love her. She's my best friend. She helps me through this. But yet for you, Brenda is a toxic individual who says certain things to you, makes you feel a certain way, and you don't like it. And that's a person that you would want to specifically list on this page. And you would want to say, how can I set a healthier boundary with this individual? Especially if this individual is someone that you have to be around. Once upon a time in Finland said, if there's hard things going on in my life, I can't do heavy subjects in my doll story. It becomes too much. So I have a theory, when we are in balance in a good place, we can do play therapy. Exactly. Then it's enjoyable and we can look at hard subjects with a little more self-empathy. I fully agree with you. If it's a harder subject, sometimes it's harder to play out, especially anything that's related to that subject or that subject exactly. And you have to kind of give yourself some distance between that subject and that, whatever that topic is in your life. And then when things, like you said, is in a good place and there's balance, you can be able to incorporate that theme, that topic into your storyline and work out that exact scenario or a different scenario. If it would have happened in a better way, if it would have happened in a worse way, what would that have played out like? But you feel like you're able to, just like you said, enjoy it more and be in a better creative space with it. I fully agree with you. I've also seen some accounts where someone may be going through something right then and they'll hit that subject hard right there and they'll let you know maybe through a private message, like, this is something I'm going through right now and I just needed to get it out. Fully understand. So everyone deals with it differently. Sometimes you're able to play out that storyline right then in your story. And then other times you're like, I need some distance. I just need to go ahead and put some silly content out there, make a whole bunch of just comedy in my story, or just deal with fashion in my story, something that I'm not even going to put any dialogue right now, but just take some pictures and post them, because right now life is happening and it's a little bit too much for me to be able to post. And I fully understand that, because the key thing is to still enjoy, still have your playtime, that even as life is happening, to still be able to play. And that's what this is all about. Being able to detoxify the soul, detoxify the psyche, detoxify the emotions, so that you can be able to play on a more consistent matter and enjoy it. Who wants to spend that time of 30 minutes, an hour, sometimes 4 hours, Sometimes 4 hours, because you got to pose them and you got to change the clothes and you got to brush the hair. And you know, if you're dealing with dolls and photography, or if you're dealing with action figures, you know, that's still, you know, the same thing. As far as with the posing and having dolls fall over, or whatever your particular playtime is, whatever your playtime is, it can sometimes take some hours, and you want to make sure that you enjoy it. You don't want to come back from it and go, oh, I don't like any of these pictures that I took. This looks horrible. This doesn't look good. No one's going to like that. It's not about if anyone likes it. It's, do you like it? And if you don't like it and if you're upset, guess what? You're not going to post it. Or you'll post it sometime later and be like, I wasn't going to post these, but I went ahead and did it anyways. And, you know, they don't look that great. You need to love everything that you put out. You know, even if it's a blurry photo, you could still use that photo for something. I've had blurry photos and had someone say, why does it look like that? And I said, because it's early morning and it's just like us waking up to see him waking up. Okay. It's a blurry photo and it was on purpose. And I felt proud of it. And you know what? They were like, oh, I get it. I see it. So it's just giving you that one-on-one perspective. You're in the room too. You're waking up and you're just getting that view of how things are just really blurry and fuzzy when you first wake up. All of your pictures are good pictures, but you need to fill that. And if you got a lot going on inside of you, your view and perspective of your work is not going to be positive. So you want to make sure that you are detoxifying your soul. Once upon a time in Finland said, pink fluffy romance helps a lot when personal life is hard. Very true. Very, very true. Very, very true. And even creating new pink fluffy romances. Putting new characters in can always help. Or if you have a minor character, girl, now you got to get me on character and story. Trying to stick to the devotional and journaling, but it's so very true. You know, that would be a really good time if you have a minor character, character that is just more in the background that we may see at parties, or is a friend of a friend, or they've only had one-liners throughout your story, and we're talking about storyline. That would be a time where maybe they come to the forefront more, and we can see their romantic interest, their romantic life, or you know, we get a chance to see more of their personality. Maybe this is a person that's a foodie and they love food and they love talking about food, and you know, they just that's a part of who they are, but they do it in such a comical way to where it's fluffy, it's enjoyable, and there's no seriousness to it, and it helps to separate you from whatever harsh stuff is going on in your life. You're still connected to it. So I'm not talking about like disconnection, but you have an outlet, an escape from it through your play. So playtime is so important, and we never want to let go of that. You know, why do I emphasize play so much? This would be my last point, I guess, before we leave each other and sojourn through our life and come back together tomorrow. I talk about play a lot because, one, it is a missing element in our life. It's something that we did pretty much every day of our childhood, depending on your childhood. Some people have childhoods where they have to grow up early and they don't really get a chance to play. For the most part, children and play are interconnected. They are intercorrelated. When you say play, you say kid. Like, they're just one of the same. And then when we get older, it's no longer playtime. You know, the Bible said, I put away childish things. You know, we don't play anymore. And we become very serious-minded, and everything is, you know, just black and white, and play is completely on the back burner. And then we become stressed out. And stress is a number one killer. And I didn't really believe it when I was younger, and I would hear stress is a number one killer. I was like, how is that possible? Because stress gets in the body, confuses all of our atoms and our cells, and And before you know it, an individual that was very healthy now has some type of ailment or sickness, or their immune system isn't as strong as what it could or should be. And that's from stress. Stress literally weakens our immune system. Stress literally weakens our mind. Our mind overall is very strong and can endure so much. And yet, when we become stressed, it starts to make those levees, the dams start to just explode. And that's how people can suffer with different mental health issues. Stress is very powerful. It's very real. Stress can lead to people being depressed. Stress can lead to people canceling or deleting themselves. And it doesn't always mean sometimes permanently, but sometimes just literally taking themselves out of the game of life. Stress. Stress is so very, very real. And stress can also cause us to not see each other as the humans that we are. And I believe that when we get out of the mindset of a child, we become, like I said, very black and white and very much trying to look for a way to separate ourselves from the others. And whoever the others are in your society, that's who we're separating ourselves from. And we forget to see each other as human and to love each other based off of that. And we just separate ourselves. We divide ourselves. That's why it's important that even as adults that we play. Play when we were kids helped us know who was friendly, who was not. We became best friends with someone on the playground in the matter of 2 to 3 minutes. You meet them and you're like, Mom, this is my new best friend. You just met him, but you knew, like, this person is awesome. They know how to play pirates. Their favorite color is purple. We're best friends for the rest of our life. You get older and that's not the same anymore. We now know in 2 seconds if we hate this person for the rest of their life. Just real talk. We're just like, I don't know what it is about you, but I don't like you. And we don't spend time trying to get to know each other. We look for ways to not communicate, to not build a connection. And that's not really the way it's supposed to be. And that's why play is so essential. In fact, if we go to the Bible, which is very important to me, he told us to be as these, to be as children, not to be pompous adults that are stressed out and looking for ways to not connect. Play is essential to our humanness. And very quickly, let's see here. Once upon a time in Finland said, playing is the perfect me time. I agree. She also said, my 6-year-old son asked me why I don't play like him, why I don't speak it out like he does. It led me to a realization it's very different than child's play, but it's really me thing. It's exactly something very personal and for yourself. So very, very true. And I have picked up on that. My kids haven't asked me that, but just me observing them and how they play, and they're going to the sector 8. Where are you? I don't know where I'm going. Like they're very expressive with their play. Whereas when I'm having my play time, like you said, it's all up in here. I'm quiet. I'm posing them. I'm snapping a shot because I'm doing the dialogue, the possible scenario of the dialogue in my head or whatever. Even if it's written down, it's still the possible, because sometimes when you go to post it, the story plays out a little bit different. But I still have in my mind, this is what's going to happen right here. And she's going to sit right here. And he's going to stand right here. And he's going to lift up his hand. Maybe he's pointing, but it's all up in here. Whereas as a kid, we didn't do that. Everything we did was, and then if we were playing with another kid as well, then we were telling each other what the other person was doing. So she's going to go down to the garage, and while she's walking to the garage, go ahead and have him make that hamburger so when she comes back she can eat. Like, we were bossing each other around and stuff, right? And the other person's like, but I don't want to have him make the hamburger. After he makes the hamburger, then she needs to go ahead and groom the dog. Okay, honey, I'm going down to the garage. All right, make sure that you clean the dog when you come back. Like, that's what we did. I watch my kids when they do it, and it brings back memories for me of that's how we played. But as you get older, your play will mature and evolve. And I imagine even having that playtime with other adults is going to be different. It's not going to play out the same way that we did as kids. And that's okay. We can't recapture things exactly. But it's really important, like she said, that you still have that me time, because it makes you feel so much better. It gives you such a beautiful peace of mind. It's enjoyable. Like, I recently got a chance to do some photos of my dolls, and I think it was about 4 hours, guys. But I'm telling you, I enjoyed it to the utmost. I felt so much more relaxed. I felt like, finally, I got it done. I had some time to just enjoy and have fun and not have anyone dictate my time. I didn't feel like I owed anybody. It just felt good. I was able to do something that I just wanted to do, and it doesn't take away from my love for my family or for anyone else, but it's important that I shower me with that time, that I shower me with some fun and affection, and that it be enjoyable. And that's really what you want. You want this to be enjoyable. So true. After all, the dolls decide with our storyline. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They do. So guys, this has been enjoyable. It always is. Thank you for being with me. I know today's podcast show was a little bit late. Life happens at times when you go to bed late. Sometimes you rise up early, and then sometimes you rise up late. Today, rose up a little bit later, but it's all part of being gentle with oneself, learning how to say, you know what, got up a little later. I'm not going to shame myself. I'm going to be gentle with me and just say that this was what the body needed. The body needed more rest and needed to be able to recuperate, because this thing that we're doing together, adult play therapy, this journey should be something that we are learning how to love and be gentle with ourselves, be more kinder to ourselves. When we're more kinder and gentle to ourselves, we'll radiate that to other people as well. So guys, I could go on and on. I always enjoy being with you, especially Once Upon a Time in Finland is on. This is my girl. So we will talk like this through the messaging on here for a while, because it's just enjoyable. And I'm so glad to see that you are back online and healing up. And check out her page. These new posts that you have on there, you are just diving even more into the characters that we love. So I'm excited for the content that you're putting out there and exploring with these characters. Yeah, we could go on for ages, couldn't we? Oh my goodness. Yeah, we got to do a live soon too. All right, guys. Hi, Isis. How are you doing? How are you? Oh my goodness. I am actually planning on talking about your book coming up. I'm waiting on one more thing to come through. And as soon as that one more thing comes through, I was like, I am going to sit down and talk about the amazing book that she has, the journal. It's a journal called Dope. And I'm talking about, give me the exact title because I have it upstairs. Journal of Dopeness. It's amazing, guys. Good morning. It is an amazing journal, and you got to get it online. She has it also on her page, and it is amazing. So I am fully already intending to talk about it. Like I said, I'm waiting on one more thing, the Book of Dopeness, and it is amazing. It is amazing. When you forget who you are. I was like, yes, let's go there. Let's go there. I love it. I love it. And the way that you have it broken down. So I don't want to give away too much because I get very excited. And then I do. And I saw it. I said, we are going to talk about this in a review. Like I said, I'm waiting on one more package to come so I could do all this in one combination, but I'm excited to talk about your journal, because that is not just a journal. That is a book of self-exploration and just really being able to cite your wins, because we don't talk about our wins enough. We don't celebrate ourselves. We don't talk about our wins. So that is a whole nother conversation. She got on here and now I'm like, hey. So guys, you have an amazing day. Thank you for being with me today. I really do appreciate you. I love you guys. You are my family. And I really do hope that this devotional time together is helping in some small way, even if it's just us being together and just having our time to talk and be able to reflect on why it is important, why it is so important to detoxify the soul so you can enjoy yourself and enjoy your play. You guys have an amazing day. Thank you.